Hello and welcome to How Many Top 15 Fighters Have EA Missed from the UFC 4. If you like this content, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps me tremendously every time you press that like and subscribe button, so please do so, it helps me grow. What we're going to be doing today is we're looking at the current standards of the UFC actual roster, the real roster, and then we're going to be comparing it to the UFC 4 EA Sports version. We have some expectations. We expect 12 out of the top 16 to be there, and we expect 0 fighters from the top 10 to be missing out of any division. We're going to be using something called the DC-ometer, which I made up, which is basically DC gets to pick the fighters in the game. So for fried chicken and cake on the left, cry face on the right. Cry face out, fried chicken in, basically. Very simple. We're going to be going through the fighters one by one as well, and then I actually have a screenshot of kind of how many fighters are missing, etc. But I wanted to prove to you guys that I've been through every single thing. I haven't just guessed. It's not guesswork. I've done it 3 or 4 times. But if you do spot someone, let me know, because I might have made a mistake here and there. There's a lot of fighters missing out of this strawweight division, the first division as well. There's 10 out of 16, so there's 6 fighters missing, 4 fighters from the top 10, which is ridiculous. And the main ones is Jan, Nina Anskrov, Marina, but I don't mind Nina Anskrov because she's on pregnancy leave, but she should be taking out the rankings. And then Amanda Rieber as well. You've also got Verana Jandarova as well, which is nuts. Jan's missing. Jan's 3 in the world. This is a travesty. Nobody even knows who she is, but she's beat Carolina, Claudia Gadelha, Angela Hill. Maybe if you promoted her, we'd know who he is. We've got Marina Rodriguez as well. She's got beat by Carla Esparza in the last fight, so she's got absolutely no chance of getting in there, but she should be in there because she's number 8 in the world and she's 12-1. Then we have Amanda Rieber. She's on an absolute tear, submitting everyone. She's beat Mackenzie Dern, Randa Marcos, Paige Van Zandt, just full of energy. Like, she's a character that I'd love to play in this game. I believe so many other people will. And the first division that has the lack of characters as well, people don't like playing that division because there is a lack of characters. And then we move on to the next division, which is the women's flyweight, and they don't even have 15 players in the division. And the top fighters there, we've got what, 13 players, and then there's 8 out of 16, so there's 8 fighters missing out of the top 16 currently. 4 fighters from the top 10, so again, same situation as the last one. The main one's Jessica Andrade, number 1. She's missing. All we've got to do is move her. We've got Roxanne Modafferi, Viviani, Macy Barber, Andrea Lee. Roxanne, though, a legend of the sport. She deserves, by far, if anyone deserves to be in the game, it's her, Roxanne Modafferi. But she's in the top 10, so get her in. Then we've got Viviani as well. A bit inconsistent, but she's beat Alexis Davis, who's in the game. So add her, put the work in, and put these new characters in the game, because potentially she could be 2 or 3 in the world in one fight. Then we got Macy Barber as well. Her only losses to Roxanne Modafferi, and Roxanne's a vet, so it's difficult. She's 8-1. She's a young girl, so she's going to be around for a long time. So you need to add her to the game as well. There's a lot of work here you've got to do here, especially in the weight classes people don't really play it too much. There's a direct correlation between the weight class they've not put much effort into and the weight class that people don't like to play. And now we move into the women's bantamweight division, and you can see right there there's quite a lot of characters that people like to play, but I know there's some missing already. But you've got Megan Anderson, Cyborg, Aspen Ladd, a few new additions. They're not, some of them aren't even in the right division, but we'll take it. You got 9 out of 16, 7 fighters missing, 2 fighters missing from the top 10. Notable ones are Irina Aldana and Yana Kutskaya. Looking at Irina Aldana, I don't think she's going to get in the game because she got beat by Holly Holm quite handily in the last fight. It was a main event, I believe. She also lost to Raquel Pennington. She's got a 12-6 record, so I don't believe they're going to add her, but she's in top 10, so you need to. And then you got Yana Kutskaya as well. Again, she's been around, she's a legend. I'm sure she goes out with Thiago Santos as well, but to make these divisions fresh, you need these characters in. Now we move on to the flyweight division, and obviously you can see there's 14 fighters in the flyweight division, and 3 of those fighters aren't actually fighting in UFC. Well, 4. You got Cejudo, you got TJ, you got Mighty Mouse, and you got Benavidez. None of them are in the UFC at the moment. TJ's coming back soon, so we'll forgive that one. But the other 3 retired or left, so you know they've still got a lot of work to do in this one. As you can see, 7 out of 16. There's a lot of fighters missing. 5 fighters missing from the top 10. It's the flyweight division, though. I know they're restructuring it constantly, so I do forgive them slightly. But Brandon Royval, he needs to be in there. If he beat Brandon Moreno and his shoulder didn't get dislocated, I don't know if he would have beat him, but he would have got a title shot, and he would have been another flyweight fighter that wasn't in the division that got a title shot, just like Perez. Then you got Kai France, lost to Brandon Royval, but he's young, he's going to be in the sport for a long time. You're going to have to put him in the game sooner or later. Moving on to divisions that people actually play, we've got the bantamweight division, and I think you're going to see what I'm talking about, where the amount of effort they've put into certain divisions to where they haven't. Because looking at that lineup there, it's a fantastic lineup. You've got Aljamain Sterling in there, you've got Marlon Ferreira, Henry Cejudo, TJ Dillashaw, tons of different fighters. And look at that, 12 out of 16, exactly what we predicted. 0 fighters missing from the top 10, and it's one of their most used divisions. Is there a coincidence? I believe so. But we still have some people we can add. Rob Font would make that division a bit more fun. He just got a win over Marlon Ferreira, so I believe he deserves to be in. It was a fantastic performance from him, and he's on a good little win streak. Then we got Rieber. I can never say his second name, so I'm not going to try. Got the most takedowns in a UFC fight, I believe. One of his last fights against John Dodson, I believe it was. He's a great fighter, like, get him in there. And then you got Marlon Ferreira as well. Lost to Song Yudong. I don't think he lost that fight. I don't think anyone does. Jose Aldo barely beat him, but I think if that was a 5-round fight, it'll be a different story. But Jose Aldo looked cool as well. But Marlon Ferreira is a good fighter, man. Obviously, he's beat Sean O'Malley as well. Now we look at the featherweight division, another used division, and when you look at that top fighters tier, it looks good. You've got some legends in there. You've also got like Dustin Poirier, Pettis, Conor McGregor, a few other characters you can use that mixes it up quite well. But we are missing some key people. We've got 11 out of 16. You've got one fighter missing from the top 10, so it's not bad again. And the one fight you're missing from the top 10 is Sadiq Youssef. And then you've got Danny Igny, Shane Burgos, Ryan Hall, Bryce Mitchell. Well, let's have a look at them. So you've got Sadiq Youssef, 11-1. He's Nigerian. All the good Nigerian champs coming through as well lately. He's, like I say, he's a top 10 fighter. He should be in there. He could be potentially fighting for a title if he keeps up with his run. Then you got Bryce Mitchell, 14-0. He's not far off the top 10. He's got one more fight, and I think he breaks it. Then, of course, the man himself, Ryan Hall. Nobody wants to fight this guy. He submitted BJ Penn. He just beat Darren Elkins, beat Gray Maynard, beat Artem Lobov. You need Ryan Hall, 50-50 guy. You need him in there, the leg lock specialist. We need to be able to mess about with that sort of stuff as well. Now we move on to one of the most liked divisions, a lightweight division, led by Khabib. Again, that lineup there looks perfect. The one thing I don't like is Eddie Alvarez being in there. I don't like the featherweights being in there. I think that should be champion and then 1 to 15 in the rankings, literally from 1 to 15, telling me exactly who the best players are in the rankings and how they're represented in the actual UFC. I believe we should have a legend page. 12 out of 16, one fighter missing from the top 10. The one fighter missing from the top 10 is Diego Ferreira. We do have some notable absences though, because the division is actually stacked. But Diego Ferreira is an absolute killer. He's just come off a win over Anthony Pettis. I believe it was at the start of the year or the end of last year. The start of the year, January, so he came off a good win. He's 17-2. He's on a bit of a run. He needs one more fight and he's going to be breaking the top 10. Then you've got Islam Makashiv. Everyone wants Islam, and he's like Khabib's little cousin or whatever. He's got some big wins over Gleison Tillbal, Davey Ramos as well, who's a jiu-jitsu champion. But he needs a big win or two, and I think he's in there. Then you've got Gregor Gillespie. His only notable loss, his only setback was to Kevin Lee, and I believe that was a flash knockdown, just an instant knockout. I don't think he'll get himself in that danger again. Maybe he will. Maybe I'm taking some credit away from Kevin Lee there, but I think Gregor Gillespie will be a great addition to that, especially as he starts fighting, and they can update the rankings of him, and he'll get better and better and better. Same with Islam. Just imagine Islam in that division, like, it's so stacked. Then you got, because they've had a Chandler as well, so welterweight division now, again another stacked division, another good one. But I noticed one thing in this GSP needs to be 5 stars. Stop messing with us. 13 out of 16 in this one fighter for missing from the top 10, so this is much better. This is what we expect. Vincent Luque is missing, and Jeff Neal and Behil Muhammad. I don't mind this. I do not mind this. Vincent Luque is the notable one, and I think this should be added. Jeff Neal as well. But Vincent Luque, 19-17-1. He's just beat Randy Brown, Nico Price. 2 other guys that I believe that should be added as well, especially since you've already got Mike Perry in there. Randy Brown especially, he's going to be great. But then that's not bad. That's what I expect in every division. So if they keep that sort of attitude up with every division, each division will be so much more playable and so much more fun in ranked. The characters you can play with, especially if you add the likes of Ryan Hall and a few other characters, it just make the community so much more appreciative of the actual sport and the current representation of the actual sport, especially as they start getting rid of people, as we're about to see. Yoel Romero. Why is Wanderlei Silva in top fighters there as well? Why is Wanderlei Silva in top fighters? 13 out of 16, 2 fighters missing from the top 10. The notable ones are Vittori and Kevin Holland. But wouldn't you just like to see top fighters? Wouldn't you just like to see that, and then a Legends page, and maybe an A to Z with all the fighters in? That'd be the perfect representation of what I'd like to see the UFC use. Marlon Vettori, though, I have no issues with this because I think Marlon Vettori is going to be added very, very soon. I think he's in the next update, to be honest. The amount of people that have spoke out about it, and Kevin Holland as well, I believe they might add him. Maybe he needs one more fight, but he just beat Jacare Souza, knocked him out of his back. The guys beat everyone, Jack on Buckley and a few other big notable names. He's beat Jeff Neal as well. So he's a talker, that's the main thing. But now we get to the dinosaur divisions, and the reason I call them the dinosaur divisions is because I feel like I'm playing UFC 3 all over again. Rashad Evans, Dan Henderson, Rampage Jackson, Forrest Griffin. These are the main characters in this one. Like, you have some new characters and stuff like that, but now think about it, DC's retired and some other retired. You don't really have a lot of characters in here that represent the new division, and we're about to see why. Alexander Rakic and Jari as well, they need to be added. And then you've got 5 people missing from 11 to 15. Jamal Hill's just coming along as well. He might be added soon if he knocks another guy out. But if we look at them guys who I've just mentioned there, we've got Rakic. He's beat Anthony Smith in his last fight. Excellent fight. He could be fighting for a title very soon, especially with the wide open landscape that you've got. He's been beat by Vulcan in a split decision, so that's a close one. And then you've got Jari, 24 knockouts in a row. He's by far one of the biggest prospects that there is, but he's 5th in the world, so he's literally one shot away from a title. He's knocked everyone out. He knocks everyone out, and he's crazy. He's a crazy man. Now we move up to the second dinosaur division. They've added some new fighters to this, like Olenek and a few others, but you're going to see like the Word Dooms, the Kimbo Slices, the Mark Colemans, the Dan Severins in here, and Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury as well over some fighters. The heavyweight division is a bit of a mess at the moment. The notable characters that you've got missing are people like Cyril Gane, Shamal, Augusto Saki. But one thing I want to talk about, if you look there, Derek Lewis is ranked number 4. He's not even in the top fighters of the game. And even if Gerard Rosenstruck, which is insane. How are you supposed to be promoting this division if you're not promoting the top fighters? Anyway, Cyril Gane, number 7 in the world at the moment, beat Junior Dos Santos Tanabosa. I'd like to see him in the game. His kickboxing combinations are fantastic, so get him in, it'll be fun. A summary of it all is that they've got 114 fighters out of 176. 25 top 10 fighters are missing. What's the odds one of them fighters goes on and wins a belt or fights for a title, etc.? It's already happened. Well, it's already could have happened twice with Perez and a few others. They've got a lot of work to do, and I don't want to bash EA, but I like them to do better, and I'd like them to do weekly updates and add a ton of fighters, like at least add all the top 10 fighters. And if you agree with me, please drop a like, drop a comment, see what you think of this video. As always, we appreciate you. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye.